like, I don't know, half the amount of teachers that are retired teachers that are, I don't know, over whatever. But it has to be done. We cannot survive like this. We cannot survive the crazy. I posted videos today from schools through video account where this live from what's the name? This weird university. It's probably all lesbian girls go there. Sorry, don't mention the lesbian university. But what's the name of this university? And the crazy shit that they were talking about. I was like, who talks about this in university? Like, why are these representatives inside of the university with freshmen giving them a lecture? It's bizarre. Why is there any political activity going on in university? That's the thing.
Exactly. Exactly. No more.
Be bound in university.
Exactly. From every school too. Social being dominated. Why was it even like this? Like if I would tell you 20 years ago that men should play in women's sports, you'd look at me as clearly as pedophile, and you'd send me straight to prison for 25 years.
Yes.
When I say today, it's like a debate. It's not a debate. It's stupidity. Someone explained it to a little kid that this is okay, so when they grow up with the whole mindset, that this is okay, what happens? It becomes okay. It becomes part. This is what's tying up.
I just want to understand.
How to do it.
I just want to understand the social emotional learning component. How does the guitar educational plan, where they send their teachers to get trained in guitar, when they go to camps, the teachers go to these training camps. Literally, you guys don't believe this. Look at me, the Arizona guy covers Arizona. They're always in the purple states, by the way, guys. You know, the states that are teetering on going to the left. They fund the schools there, kindergarten through 12th grade. How many Palestinians or Muslims happen to be, I don't know, the middle of like Arizona? There's not a lot. I can promise you that. There's just not. There's a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Americans, lots of different cultures, like Vietnamese, Chinese, African Americans. But there's not a lot of Palestinians. Why the hell is there a full educational program by the Qataris in a kindergarten in the middle of nowhere in Arizona? Or in Africa? It makes no sense. I just don't understand how it's happening. So let me go to Matt, and we have something on this specifically.
Yeah. Can I say? I just want to say one more thing. It's slightly off topic. We spoke before about Mondani. I just wanted to point out, John Mondani was a shooting in New York. You all know about that. You all saw the news. Okay. We all saw the news. But what I wanted to say is Mondani came up and he was like, I'm retracting about becoming the police. Now I want to point out, he never ever retracted. What he said was like, I'm retracting on the funding the police. He didn't actually retract on the funding the police. He just said that, and then he came up the next day and was like, I want like social workers to come and respond to calls that we need social workers to. That's basically what he ran on this campaign. He just said that I'm going to teach the police, I'm just going to train them into social workers. That's the same thing. He's not running on any different narrative. He's just changing his words and using word salads that we all know the Democrats love to use, especially Kamala Harris, and just changing so everyone just think, oh, he's not that communist. He's just, you know, like a little extremist. He's not a communist. He is a communist.
They tried the social workers narrative before. Social workers refused to go out on the calls because they either getting stabbed or killed, or the cops get called anyways, or the person ends up killing the woman inside, or the kid ends up shooting his parents, whatever, or it ends up being 3-4 calls and it ends up in even a worse situation had the police properly showed up. This never works. It does not work on those emergency calls. Most people in certain communities will never call the police, especially, I'm sorry, this is a demographic thing. In African American communities, they're very reluctant to calling anyways the police. This is a cultural thing for them. And they also don't want to, say citywide rape police, they don't want to snitch or whatever that may be. So often at times they only got called out when it's very serious. And then you send somebody who's a social worker, right, out there, and you're putting everybody risking being the victim of
this works is it's basically oriented and calibrated towards a very personalized behavioral and psychological profile on the users, and they group together similar psychological behavioral profiles and cluster them into human content that in part furthers their strategic aims. So the Chinese view content warfare and basically social media warfare, information warfare, however you want to put it, as the main arena of warfare. And we're feeling basically the tangible effects of that on social media. A large part of this is, you know, there's kind of many different ends to which they're operating to, and they have a whole to like a large class of their entire of the entire PLA, like 200,000 members of the operations workforce are conducting quote unquote hollow strikes on civilians across the globe, and they're doing this on a national basis, local instances, local instances, and they can do this, let's say, in certain countries having elections, and so they have a desired candidate, so they will either amplify that candidate's content and basically censor the content of the opponent, and that has real world implications and repercussions in a lot of different ways. It almost really what happened to Ecuador is a real world example of that.
Ariota,
Started shutting down
Ariota, was that the first time you've ever been objectified, Ariota?
infrastructure, basically trying to pressure the public to vote for a certain candidate that is seeking to rely on. So in all things that they don't take these tactics, even though they
Done that, the audience is
so basically it leads very live. So things like dams, which the CCP helped build, they would throttle it up so that dams would be producing a lot less electricity and a lot bigger regional area would be getting power to their homes. It's like big was offering at full capacity, which is one thing. Another thing is,
and then that would encourage them to vote for the one that says, well, thank you for getting the vote. Is that what?
well, it's coercive. It's coercive to make the entire discussion about it's to coerce the public to vote for a certain position or not vote at all.
The issue of keeping the public's mind by creating a miniature crisis or so that's at the false people's mind when they go to vote, and then the CCP-aligned candidate is the one who's talking about securing that resource.
So basically, they provide solutions to that they're creating take a certain route in which is power back on things like that. They're trying to pressure the government and local governments or national governments in certain ways to get equilibrium.
The Time is building a dam right now to directly affect India. Could be applying pressure on them, potentially, right?
Correct.
Would
That's
benefit
get around basically how China communicates. They were more concerned about that than they were about the actual fear of natural disasters and the hits from attacks. Yeah.
And yet our media does not cover that aspect at all. It's not even in our U.S. So is that who that we want to read that? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, is there an intentionality around that?
Never thought like this the military operation, right? Have you ever been to Irvine? Okay, and you
It's very holistic society, which involves from unorthodox actors or unorthodox actors
يعني تو بس غيرت على خاطر الموضوع
the way that they were conducting operations is
للغاية الشارع اليوم شكل يلا كيف حبك يا
I don't really know how to objectively characterize this so people understand this. They have developed a craft in which they have operating principles, it's fully developed, refined, and where basically we have things such as terminology such as communist strikes. And communist strikes are again directed against civilian populations to basically have them adhere to a certain perception of events, of the course of events that for which the restrictions are made.
Okay. Go ahead, Diane, please. Diane, were you there? Diane, are you there? Okay, go ahead, Steve. Good, how are you?
Okay, question and a response. What were you reading when you were reading those steps?
Oh, the
PLA,
keys, yeah, the keys infographic. Do you want to bring up her bubble or do you want me to?
I just put that there.
Oh, fantastic, thank you so much. I'll go look for it. Okay, response. You're talking about the DSA at the university and how
needs to help make that happen, at some point in time. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, that's kind of what I would be getting out of that, which is why that all makes sense to me. This whole tentacle of USAID is just, there's so much to this nonsense. Endless nonsense is what this stuff is. I'm glad we're ripping it out slowly. They're fighting back constantly. I don't know if you saw what I put out. Did you see what Darren Beattie said earlier about the censorship stuff? That they're just transplanting it and pushing it into Europe and then ramping it up in Europe so it still stays alive? It's pretty absurd. No.
Hey, Matt. and 40 p.m. to 6:30 a.m., leaving a 7.5-hour unchecked window during the estimated 1 a.m., 4 a.m. death. No public release of Barr's reviewed footage has occurred. Suicide ruling. Barr endorsed Dr. Barbara Sampson's suicide.
But when you look at ESG, it's environmental social governance. Fuck you. You know, like all for like I love Ripple because they're so energy efficient with their transactions, but this fake Green New Deal, everybody needs to look at the.
Be more U.S. friendly. Quite literally, this is their issue with Netanyahu, and they want Netanyahu to not act in a way that jeopardizes U.S. interests in the Middle East. That's all it is. That's really all it is. I mean, like I said, everyone who was speaking on this subject was correct in some way, shape, or form.
Really can't have both. Like,
In what way?
The reason why this Netanyahu is so successful is because he's he's a ruthless, like really successful political animal. And and he understands the U.S. because he's from Philly, and he understands the people and understands all of this other shit. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree with you on this.
So but because he is like the Americans, he's not gonna bow because that's not how he is. And so you can't have both sides. Like it's like you know what I mean? Like those two are very conflicting. You cannot have them be submissive and have the perks that he has. Those are completely contradictory.
It's more
positions to
nuanced.
have.
It's more nuanced. Like Israel is subservient to the U.S. However, Netanyahu does challenge and defy the U.S. because he's able to actually hoodwink the U.S. very well, which is what you were alluding to. But yeah, I think both can happen at the same time. I think that you need to sort of look at, like, we need to stop looking at Israel as Netanyahu's Israel and separate the two. I think it's very important.
Samir, do you remember the old Knesset meeting tapes that got leaked of Netanyahu early 2000, explaining how he can manipulate the American opinion?
Yeah, I posted it. I know.
Yeah, just to confirm what you're saying.
And you know what? Get this. So I just looked at a new poll just the other day, and Americans are, they look at Netanyahu very unfavorably. Majority support, at least, right now. So his manipulation isn't working anymore.
Yeah, the polls are down right now. I think at 38% of Americans support Israel. That's the lowest it's ever been.
So wait. No. Well, okay, once again, we have to separate Netanyahu from Israel because American favorability of Israel goes up when Netanyahu is not included in the question. Americans view Netanyahu.
Yeah, it will for sure.
It's a war against Bibi.
Exactly. Sauce is 100% right.
Even from inside Israel, that's the point. Like when you have ex-prime ministers causing division amongst Israeli society and saying, oh, we're on the brink of civil war. Maybe Hosa can help me. What's the word for tahrid, Dr. Hosa? Like, instigating division or whatever. Like, many such cases in Israel.
But you think most Americans think that? I don't think most Americans separate Bibi. Like, they don't care enough. You know what I mean? To be separating Bibi from Israel.
Netanyahu specifically, they view him very unfavorably. However, when you ask him about Israel, the favorability goes up. Why do you think that is, Joa?
Okay, I haven't seen that poll, but I'll take your word for it. So, yes, I'm just curious of how much.
They just look at Bibi like the leader of a political party. You gotta remember, this is America, so we just look at everything like political parties or movements, or it's just like a different flavor, like a Bernie Sanders or a Elizabeth Warren, or Ted Cruz or whatever. Just a different flavor of Israeli politics. At the end of the day, that's honestly how most Americans look at it.
Yeah, and I think, it's not I think, this is obvious, this is a fact, this is reality, that they want to scapegoat Netanyahu to whitewash Israel's image.
Basically, Mira, the West loves to use Israel to do the dirty job, destroy those terrorists, Hamas and Hezbollah and whatever, and then when Israel actually...
I didn't dabble deep into Satanism, but I researched it.
Really, and I got the
411 on that if you want to hear it.
Well, one more last thing is anyone who sees that image of Lucifer, he has his arm over his eyes and he's all mad, that kind of image, those people are Satanists. Absolutely guaranteed to be Satanists. Stay the fuck away from them. Satanists are the most Jewish out of all of the other Abrahamic religions. Well, the two. Anyway, go ahead.
Jesus Christ!
Well, how do you differentiate between a Christian Kabbalist and a Jewish Kabbalist?
Wait, hold on. Don't let John come in and dictate. Okay? Check your power level, bro. Who the fuck are you? Are you Christian or not?
Yeah, Jesus is King and Lord of the world.
What, you an actual congressman? Hang on. Hey. Boys. Need more ammo if needs some more left tonight. It's been aggressive.
I mean, I've heard that the snake in the Garden of Eden was Jesus. From an occult esoteric book by Paul Foster Case, who studied the Kabbalah and used tarot cards as a way to understand,
Everyone, don't do it. Is your mic not working?
No, I'm here. I'm trying to understand what this guy's.
You seem bored. Are you bored, bro? This guy doesn't get the what's wrong.
I just don't understand, is he a pro-white guy? Like, I don't know. He came in here and he's, talking about
Snakes.
And look, I think the title threw him off.
Oh,
okay.
alright. It worked. Okay, good suggestion, Ryan. John, are you pro-white?
Yeah, white is a beautiful color.
Are you white yourself?
I'm my father is Jewish who converted to Christianity. I am a Mischling according to the 1939 Nuremberg laws. So I'm technically a halfling. I'm half Jewish and half gorgeous. My mother is a Christian.
Gorgeous? He said gorgeous.
Alright, tell us about Jesus being Jewish. Let's hear your shit. Or not Jewish, sorry.
Well, interestingly enough, I got baptized by a black man in a pool at the YMCA. Explain that one to me. Can black people love Jesus too?
Yeah, I think they can. I think all the people in the world can love Jesus. That's not my problem with it. But can you run me through why Jesus is Satan? I love this stuff. I love hearing this stuff.
Well, not the Satan, but I think people confuse the snake in the garden with Satan when that was technically the Messiah, aka Jesus Christ.
Yeah, can you explain that? Like, why? What proof do you have of that? Where are you connected with Scripture?
I think it's probably, I could pull it out from the book if you really want me to get the book that I read it in.
Yeah, I want to know the lore. That's what I'm asking you. Well, what's the lore? You can't just make this statement of the lore. Like, if I told you, in Harry Potter, Voldemort's really Santa Claus.
Honestly, it's not in my memory. It's a little too technical. I'd have to get the book.
You can't even tell me?
It deals with Hebrew. I don't speak Hebrew.
Dude, come on. You gotta come in here.
He's a double fake you.
Yeah, you like the fakest Jew.
Well, look at it this way. Well, then let me just put it in my own words. If Jesus Christ was the snake, that was him engineering his final glory and victory, at his own sacrifice. So he couldn't turn Adam, but he was able to turn Eve. So what does that tell you about women or the genders? What does it tell you about a woman versus a man?
I got the Bible verse if you guys want it. So, John 3:14, just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so shall the Son of Man be lifted up. So that's talking about the snake, talking about the whole thing going back to the garden. So they're talking about Jesus is the morning star and Jesus is the morning star. So there is that sort of confusion.
I want to hear him do his lore. It's not as fun when you do it. Hey, John, so you're basically like a Christian Jewish guy?
He's like Rex Jones.
I've read a lot of books. I got baptized when I was in high school. But I did lie to go on a birthright trip. I got to see Israel for free because I checkmarked that my mom was Jewish. They bought it. Oy vey.
I was gonna say, John, I think it, oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was just telling every single time. Yeah, if everyone, hey, John, there's a group of people out there that believe that Jesus wasn't Jewish, and Jewish people are pure evil, can't be Christian, and that only whites can be Christian. I think we should bring awareness to this and theologically destroy these people because they are antichrist. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I don't think so. I know many, many Jews, and they love Christians. I think there's actually a lot of bad Christians on this app and on Clown House and other social audio places. They,
Yeah, I'm telling you, like,
if you have Jewish derangement syndrome, or what I call Jewish Tourette's, where everything is a Jewish conspiracy theory, you lack to understand wisdom itself. If you know where you came from, you solve all your problems. So why, if you're political and you want to talk about Jews all the time, I get it. But if you have Jewish Tourette syndrome, oh, how exhausting. Oy vey!
well, that's what I'm telling you. On this app called Christian Identity, and what they are you ready for this? They believe that the 12 tribes were white Europeans, and that Jews are the quote synagogue of Satan, and that their whole thing is they killed Jesus, and that's bad. And I'm just saying that since you seem to be a true Christian, that I'd like to make you aware of these people. You know, do you a favor. Because I'd like to make the Christians aware of false Christians.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the United States of America is like ancient Rome? And are we awaiting the return of the Messiah to stop the 100,000 a month babies being murdered in Planned Parenthood, the forever wars, the 40 trillion in debt? It's when can Jesus Christ come back to put all the Democrats in prison? That's all I want to know. Thank you.
I'll tell you this, in my personal opinion, can I say without interruption? It's supposed to end. It has some Roman things about it. The architecture of the Capitol, having a national goddess in the form of Columbia, which is awesome. We have the Latin alphabet, which is badass. Sequis Pactum Heavy Metal. And America was named after an Italian Chad named Vespasian. Other than that, we are not an imperialistic empire. We are right now in a very bad state, and that is all and we are both on planet Earth, and there are similarities in. No, Jesus is not coming back because he never was here in the first place. And even if he was, it's always any second now. Because I think he'd have come back in the 5th century, because when you read the shit that was happening in the 5th century, including a actual like year or two without the sun because of a volcanic eruption, and the plagues that swept through the earth, and all the death, destruction that was going on, that is what I would think would happen. But no, apparently now it's happening now.
Well, does anyone here think that they will see a nuclear detonation within the next 5 to 10 years?
Hey, listen, we got a buddy Jeffrey that's in the chat. Christian whistleblower. He just sent an awesome show going to. Can you tell us about it, Jeffrey? Let's switch gears for a little bit. Yeah, be here, guys.
Hey Jeff, remember me? Sorry, you and I didn't go the other ones.
Who is this?
It's Aurelian. Don't remember?
Oh, yeah, baby. I remember you. How you doing?
Doing good. Good to see you and me both in the same area. Never thought we'd see people mass wake up, did we? But here we are.
Here we are. And HD, I really appreciate the shout out. We had a great show tonight. We're about 80, 90 people behind you as far as listeners, but man, the tide is turning. We got all these people tuning in. You had over 300. We had over 200. Man, the message is getting through, and I salute you, HD, for helping make this happen. And I gotta believe we're just getting started, baby.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Jeff is going to be going live on goingtv.com, and he's going live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Is that Eastern?
That'd be 9 p.m. Central, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
So mark your calendar and be sure to give him a follow right now. Many years as a minister, correct, Jeff?
20 years full time, 5 years part time. So yeah, a long time. It has to be said, I knew probably
again, I got to make a public apology to Jeff because his streams were tampered with. They knocked him off. Well, not they. Unrolled, knocked him off the homepage, knocked me off the homepage, knocked Paper Jesus off the homepage, deleted all the Paper Jesus. Thank God we figured out who the fuck was toying with it. Gosh darn Christian. Gosh darn it.
Our point, it just means that we're winning this battle, HD. You're a big part of it. It's great to be fighting alongside of you. We spent some years fighting against each other, but hey, here we are, hugging it out, doing some work, getting it done, baby. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. So if you guys haven't checked out Jeff, I mean, he's just a big bright mind and a class act, and he's got a nice wife too. I've met him in person. We had a wonderful dinner together with Tom Bowie, Zach Logos, and all the guys that was up there that I'm friends with. And just a great time. It's awesome that we do these spaces, but it's even better when you do it IRL and you have a good time. And be sure to check out Jeff, give him a follow, and also get in his live chat on Blame TV and support the show.
Okay, we appreciate your white power. Take care.
Like just right before he left, yeah, Jeff and I did a show together when we were with that renegade guy. And Jeff and I had a lot of good conversations about anti-Abrahamism, and we were ranting about how stupid everyone was, and like wake the fuck up. And
Wait, you don't like Abraham in the Bible? I think he's a pretty cool character.
no, I know, right? I mean, I totally heard a voice tell me to kill my son to prove myself to that voice, and people worship me now. Oh wait, no, I'm actually stuck in the hospital. For some reason, they put me in a straitjacket, man.
So do you think abracadabra came from Abramelin, the sage, the mage, the magician? Do you think there's magic tied up in all this religious stuff?
I'm going to tell you this, man. When your body tells you that you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can tell a goddamn mountain to go hurl itself into the sea. If that ain't magic, there ain't nothing. It's literally just spoken magic. So it's funny that Christians spend thousands of years, I'm going to rephrase that, hundreds of years burning women alive to quote magic when their whole book is full of it. It's basically, don't do magic without Yahweh's stamp of approval.
So it's a Yahweh industrial complex.
Pretty much. And, I gotta ask, what do you think of people who burn Bibles and crosses and stuff? I'm not talking KKK burning crosses. I mean, like, just throwing them in a fire pit. What do you think of those people? Are they hellbound sinners? I guess so. Yeah, it was good having Jeff here. It really was.
So who here actually believes in the concept of a white man or a black man or a yellow man or a brown man? Aren't we all just Americans?
I can literally see the skull shape difference, the body shape difference, the bone density difference, the fucking fact that blacks have a specific genetic disease across their entire race called sickle cell that whites and browns do not have. There's some of us actually can swim better than others. And I can also look at history and see the difference between Europe in all its forms and all of its ethnicities and nations, and Africa and the Middle East, and I can see that one is far, far superior at making stable, sane, industrious, advanced, progressive nations. One is lesser, far lesser, but at least they can make something, which is brown. And one was so goddamn primitive that they didn't even have a fucking wheel when we had guns, which are the blacks. So, yeah, we are different, and it's read the Nationalization Act of 1790. This was a white man's country, meant for us, built by us, for us exclusively. So, yeah, there's a big difference.
Are you a Zionist, John? John.
just got the call from Tel Aviv. Apparently I wasn't kosher.
You guys call me?
Said what?
No, this other John Kitover.
Oh, just the version of you. He basically just asked me, why do you don't believe in race? Are we all Americans? And I fucking shut him down.
Oh man.
So basically said, long story short, between whites, browns, and blacks, one race at the smallest continent, or at least the second smallest, was able to create everything you have today, and the others, despite having far more resources at their disposal, created nothing. So.
For some Christian blood.
Oy vey, HD wants to kill white people!
We've totally toned it down because we've had such better etiquette in these spaces. We're not jumping down anyone's throat anymore.
Exactly.
I'm saying the N word a lot less. This is a healthy environment. This is a safe space for Christians. So,
I honestly think that the reason a lot of them hesitate is because they think we're silver-tongued devils. Like, they say the devil is beautiful when, he gets a good tongue or something, or speak lies, and they're afraid that if they come in here and miss us, that they will lose faith because we're factual. But we're going to keep getting them in here.
Are you philosophical, though? Most people aim to be factual, but how philosophical are you?
Why are you even in here, dude?
why are you coming back here, Drew?
I'm just asking a question if you like philosophy.
You want us to get blended into like a nice mocha cappuccino color? Is that what you're saying?
I'm about to have an espresso.
Hey, John, are you a Zionist? Are you a Christian Zionist?
I think.
Yeah, wait. If you look at John's photo, he looks like a gross Jew. Like, just look at him. John, you're ugly. So, you know.
He's the younger dude in that picture.
Yeah, he is, like, super Jewy. Like, bad genetics, John.
I think he's just here to derail the space, honestly.
John, you're hideous. Someone needs to shove you back in your Yenta's mom's vagina. Because you are hideous. Okay, we need to deal with that better-looking people on the panel here. John, you tell me if you have to. Your Yenta's mom's vagina. Because you are hideous. Okay, we need to deal with that better-looking people on the panel here. John, you're too ugly to be up here. We're going to remove you. He's hideous, guys. MMA Groiper. I see a Groiper in here. Let's go.
I got kicked for being
What's
ugly?
up, man? Mexican Groiper. Let's go. What else we got here? Horn here. Let's go. MMA Groiper. Who else we got here? We gotta start calling out the accounts, guys.
Okay, this is Jefferson Park News. We are being asked to leave. We cannot be here to witness the Republican election for the Cook County GOP chair. They have $4,000 in the bank, and they're worried about kicking us out of a little lobby here. But this is the Celebration Room B at Moretti's, and basically, the fix is in. We already know who's going to be the Cook County GOP chair, and basically, it's going to turn tomorrow. So, I mean, they're going to have to call the police, essentially. They're gonna go try to find the manager, I think. Or not. Maybe they just don't care. So. Oh, sure, we gotta go.
We gotta go. We gotta go. What was he getting all paranoid about?
Certainly not without merit. And I think Carlson was quite fair to him, but also, I mean, he's had a lot of exposure to him. He's just like, well, this person is attacking me, and I don't quite know why. But the thing, I think, Charlie, you sort of tweeted about this. The thing is, of course, it doesn't matter how, quote, right Tucker Carlson is, how right Fuentes is. It's the wrong, you're never going to get anywhere, No. Through this channel, because for the sole reason that his loyal followers, they're too stupid. They're too vituperative. They're too just like.
This is what we've talked about previously on these spaces. Is in all the IRL event gatherings, the grippers are hated by literally everybody. And every single faction, whenever they run into these people in real life, sees them for what they are. They're complete insufferable spurs.
All they do is cause discord, and they're fractious. They don't want sort of alliances. They want to fracture. They want to break things. I mean, these are, again, you get civilization and its discontents. I mean, when you say it's why dissident is the wrong frame, because of course a dissident, you can be a left-wing dissident, you can be a right-wing dissident. But of course, when you say that, when you name yourself as a dissident, then you're basically putting out a call for every maladjusted person with an axe to grind. Whatever it may be, left-wing, right-wing, no wing at all. You're just going to get wreckers. You're going to get people who want everything to burn.
It's also constantly reinforced by when literally anybody mentions the grippers for any reason on Twitter, you get an entire army of bots or spurs or whatever the hell it is coming in the comments with just the lowest of IQ, insults and just throwing stuff back at you. It's like, you're Jewish or a boomer. It's like, dude, you know who the fuck you're talking to? It's like, what influence do you have?
Well, they don't care. They don't care.
That's the whole point, and that's why they're not serious people, and they should be completely ignored.
Yes, they should. Again, it doesn't matter. Yeah, of course, probably Fuentes is quote right. He's right. His opinions are correct sometimes, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, being right is not totality of your. Is not the measure of your worth. I mean, there are other things you need to be other than right. You need to not be someone who just seeks to tear everyone down, which is what he does. I mean, whatever you think, I have no positive opinions about Candace Owens at all. Particularly listening to her. I mean, that's the first time I'd ever really listened to her, and I don't care. But
You mean fix the fix?
About her experiences
You want to maintain status quo.
Is when I've heard that other people relate this. They relate how basically, it was almost this kind of.
You can't fix
I'll let this person in, and there's all this kind of politeness at the moment, and then the instant betrayal, instant sort of, that's just, again, friend enemy. You're going to be an eternal enemy. Fine. Okay, well, I don't have anything to do with you.
Also, the
people who watch Nick Fuentes, like, or Zoomers, I guess, because that's what they say they are online.
They Zoomers?
They seem to believe that all Zoomers, like, love and listen to Fuentes. Like, I had some guy tell me that today on the timeline, that, like, just every Zoomer is, like, it's like they don't, dude. Like, that's just not, I literally know that's not true. Like, you're living in a fucking delusion.
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
I mean, I saw AA tweeting about Tucker's strategy to win, what he has to do, and it's like, there's no way he believes that shit. Like, Tucker does not have to have Fuentes on his show in order to, like, survive. I cannot believe AA actually believes that.
Well,
He himself is very experienced in just picking fights with people, like, for no reason, and then just, like, pretending like it never happened. For some reason, it's literally what he does to like, increase his traction. It's like Tucker can be doing the same thing. It's like, I don't know. I mean, AA, this is one of those things where, I mean, this is like basic Machiavelli stuff. Like, AA is saying what has to happen is like what he wants to happen. Like, he wants, you know, Fuentes to go debate Tucker because, and it's gonna justify like why that has to happen. But he just doesn't. I mean,
there's no reason. Tucker can literally just ignore that. He's so much bigger than Fuentes, and it's not even close.
Wow.
And this illusion that Fuentes is like this immensely, like, really popular guy, it's just ludicrous. I don't see it play out in real life with people who are actually like doing stuff in the scene. And I mean, I agree with Charlie. I really couldn't believe that this was the statement. And it's interesting seeing all the characters that are, you know, tweeting about like, oh, well, they call him gay and a Mexican, but they don't call him Ron. It's like, no, I call him all three. You know? And it's all the characters who are just non-Americans. It's Canadians, it's Europeans, it's everybody who's, like, not in the States who somehow thinks that Nick Fuentes has an amazing presence in the United States.
He's a fucking he can't even draw a capacity.
That's
crowd.
what the amazing thread was about.
His own events. Yeah, and that's true.
It's like the
by the way,
look, they did. They got like 100 people.
They had a fucking cancel.
Yeah. OGC events have more people that show up than Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
He gets 30,000 viewers. It's
we got Sneeko, we got some Muslims, and we got some
Brad people. Well, there's just all theory telling about Nick Fuentes, but it's like, we're actually here, and we're actually people on the ground.
What? Speaking of brown people, look at the jumbotron. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. What is going on? What happened to it?
I can't see it. I gotta pull it up on mobile. The fucking jumbotron is broken on PC still for some reason.
What happened to him? What happened to him? Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but yeah.
He's telling the kids about, warning about.
Do you actually do anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything.
It's the wrong side of the fight to be on. Like, there's kind of no reason to pick a side. Certainly no reason to side with Fuentes. I don't know, for some reason, yeah, it just seems common on foreigners. And then, like, I guess black people is like the only American who I take seriously.
Right, people.
For some reason, it's with Fuentes. But these people are hated and irrelevant, and they can't possibly make Tucker cave on anything. Like, I don't know, what are they saying? Like,
they don't have any.
He may or may not like fully be honest about his connections to the CIA. Like, no shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing discovery that Tucker might not be entirely honest about whatever his family's intelligence connections are. I was also noticing, like, people were tweeting about this years ago, that picture of him with the Contras, like, that was being tweeted about in 2023. It's like, no one's seen it.
I saw you bring that tweet up, Charlie, that Braddock tweet from over 2 years ago, and it's just what is old is new again thing. And it's the same thing we were talking about the other night with fucking Blackbelt going after Tucker for the Kabbalah bracelet. You know,
the Kabbalah, the string, yeah.
Like, really.
And hilariously, of course, if you watch the entirety of the Candace Owens thing, she spent like 15 minutes talking about Kabbalah, talking about the evils of Kabbalah. So I don't really think Tucker Carlson is immersed in Kabbalah. And listen, whatever. I mean, fine. You know, his father was a spook. Maybe he's spook adjacent. But I mean, he talked about this again. He addressed this directly in the Candace Owens thing. He said, "Look," he said, "people, whatever people believe me. I don't care. They don't believe me about my family, my father, my relationship with my father. Fine." But he said, "How can you?" I mean, he said, he said, "About really upset." He said, "I'm viscerally like disturbed when people say that he's an agent, that he's a tool of the CIA, because he said that the CIA. I mean, if you listen to anything that he said, I mean, he is very outspokenly like critical, like deeply critical of the CIA and the CIA's mission.
This really is one of those like watch what I do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, fine. Obviously, allegiances in the past, it's certainly possible. I don't know, and I put anything past any of the intelligence agencies, but I maybe I'm a sucker, but I do believe him when he says, you know, I'm seeing the light, you know.
Yeah, the other thing I mentioned too about this, and I talked about this the other night, is I really dislike how people were just expecting Tucker to throw his deceased dad under the bus.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, what? You, like, random internet anon person, you know, like, there's such a thing as, like, honoring your parents. I know a lot of people have, like, dysfunctional relationships with their family and stuff, and, you know, don't really think in these kinds of terms, but, you know, it's just like, what is Tucker supposed to say, like, about his deceased dad? You know, like, what would he actually have to say that would satisfy these people? And it would just be nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But of course, and the thing is, of course, they don't really, like, most of these people, they don't want explanations. They don't want, they just want to take people down. They don't care.
You can kind of tell on a lot of issues like this, the substance of the criticism. It's like, oh, well, what are you like really trying to get to here? It's like their argument is that, well, Tucker says XYZ thing about his dad, or didn't say anything about his dad in this case. Therefore, he's untrustworthy. Therefore, we can't listen to him. Therefore, he is controlled opposition, or whatever these like retarded terms that people are throwing around now at this point. It's like cope. It's like the term is just completely wasted at this point because it's devolved of our original meaning. But it's like, so there's nothing really substantive of your claims here. It's just discredit XYZ person for what is obviously ridiculous reasons, because nobody else in our entire thing is even talking remotely as half-based as Tucker Carlson is right now, and consistently for like the last 6 months.
Yep.
So
I mean, only Nick Fuentes ever talked about Jews or base stuff or anything. You know, there's no other way to hear about that unless you're listening to him. Tucker Carlson couldn't possibly be like doing that because only Nick Fuentes does it.
Yeah, right. Except of course, all I've seen in the past like month is like Israel mega boomers going after Tucker Carlson as being an agent of Iran and hating Israel and whatever. Because of course he brought it up. I mean, he did that Charlie Kirk. He did the Turning Point TPUSA speech this year, where I mean he said nothing quote anti-Semitic at all. You know, he just talked about.
That's why I'm not going to watch the 3-hour Nick Fuentes stream or the half-hour AA summary, because it's like, what is this guy going to say? He's just going to say shit about something CIA, something.
Jews,
Look at this
CIA,
guy live
Jews,
here.
yeah.
Look at how, yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, like he's a freaking media. He comes from a media slime ball background plus CIA. It's like, yeah, I'm sure he's done like a bunch of stuff and said a bunch of contradictory things, and you know, you just do that all day. But I don't care.
I don't care. And to be fair to Tucker Carlson, he constantly does mea culpas now. He's like, I was wrong about everything. I was wrong about everything. To my moral discredit, I was you know, the shameful supporter of the Iraq War. I cheered on things that are evil, objectively evil. I mean, he does it all the time. Constantly says, you know, mea culpa, I was wrong, and I've seen the light. And of course,
what is there to gain by attacking him and disavowing him? Like, same for Trump. Like, what is there to gain from doing this? Like, the internet credibility? Like,
internet clout, which means fucking nothing except to a bunch of gay Mexicans. Yeah.
It was really funny that Tucker actually called him a gay. Like,
that was great. Yeah, a little gay Mexican kid. Yeah, I mean that was beautiful. So, yeah, well, Tucker basically said like, I mean, he also said, you know, the theater kid thing, and said, you know, this is a little I just can't remember how he phrased it. You know, this is a bit of a little gay kid, which is exactly right. It's like, I mean, don't think about it. Minute. Put it in your mouth, bro. put it in your. Come on, just put it. Suck it. Come on, bro.
I need to rewatch that show.
I'm a boomer and goddamn proud of it. Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is that the other thing that's like just blatantly contradictory to one of the things that AA is constantly talking about. It's like if you're reacting or losing, it's like, well, who was reacting here? It's been Nick Fuentes this whole time. Tucker mentions him once. Nick was on this tirade for 3 hours or whatever, and he's no doubt going to be doing this in the future because Tucker doesn't have to have Nick Fuentes on his show literally at all. It's not going to affect his viewership or his power literally at all. And so it's just going to be it's going to be Nick biting at his heels for the next 6 months or so, and it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be him reacting the whole time. There's no universe in which like Nick Fuentes comes out on top here.
Well, why? Yeah, because who cares? I mean, Tucker Carlson is not threatened by this. But, and the thing is, of course, yes, and I mean, again, hearing Candace Owens' account, I mean, I don't know anything about her. I mean, the only time I'd ever listened to her was on this interview. But she said, like, she does her podcast in her home, which is what Tucker does. A lot of people do. And so she had Nick Fuentes on her show, which means inviting him into her home, you know, to do the show. And apparently, when they did it, they had a very good rapport. He was very polite, very friendly. In fact, so much so that she said her husband said, "Well, let's have him, you know, let's ask him to stay to dinner, you know, because he seems a bit lonely and out of sorts, you know, whatever." The same thing with Tucker. I mean, you know, I the way that Tucker Carlson films his show, I think is in his home. Like it's his actual home. And he goes to dinner. I mean, he brings them over to dinner or takes them to dinner, whatever. I mean, there's a whole rapport that happens when you go on that show. Well, why would you want to have someone who's just again gonna kind of bite you in the back? You know, who cares? And who the fuck? As I've always said, who the fuck is Nick Fuentes? Like, why do we fucking care? Yeah, he's got a little bit of talent. You know, he can run a monologue. Well, so can I. You know, I don't have all the little Mexican fags beating down my door to come hunt. You know, I wish I did, but I don't. You know, I mean, I listen. I'm a much bigger gay kid than he is.
It's these people openly bow out and say, yes, I will cuck myself because it's the right thing to do. And that's just stupid. And the Democrats have your right. You're exactly right, Boxing. They hurt themselves so badly with their talent by doing that.
But they deserve it, though. They deserve it because they created the
exactly.
But it's still their messaging. I mean, you look at Josh Shapiro, who's supposed to be a favorite, like last cycle, and now going into 28 potentially as a front runner. Like, he's still posting tonight, no matter what you look like, where you come from, who you love, or who you pray to, you belong to Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, I wasn't tonight, earlier today. Right. Like, no one cares. Like, fix your fucking state. Like, our gas prices have not dropped. The roads are still fucking dick. It's gotten to the point where they're using, like, chip and oil because they don't want to spend money on actual paving. Like, fix your fucking state. People are tired of this stuff.
And if you're white and you're middle class and you notice, you say, why is crime so bad? Someone like Josh Shapiro immediately jumps in if you say anything about ethnic or racial groups or neighborhoods. Wait, that's racist, let's not be like that.
Yeah, you're one of the people that want to burn down the mansion with me and my Jew family in it. Yeah, you can't do that. Same with Krasner, yeah, he's Jew adjacent, so you can't criticize him either. Like, people are catching on to it. That's why the AG is fucking red. That's why the legislature, like, the next time around, people gave them a little bit more than they should have. And if it's going to shift back. If everybody realizes, like, oh, we fucked up with the legislature, we need to actually show up next time. Like, it's changing, and these people aren't catching on. This guy's a front runner. Go ahead, like, go hang yourselves, please.
The thing with Trump that's scaring them is it's not what Trump's doing. It's the climate that Trump is functioning in now with this change, like talked about. People are like, okay, whatever, a wee bit of diversity, fine, but like, I want now, like, the people in charge of my law enforcement, the AGs, all these people need to be conservative and traditional values oriented, not about stuff we talk about, but about law and order. Like, a criminal's a criminal. They must be prosecuted as such and not released early just because of the skin color. And I think people are like, yes, we need traditional law and order candidates.
I want you to see Vivek Ramaswamy's, like, I think I read it like briefly. I didn't read the details, but he's still speaking like black families and white families. It's like the liberal policy. Like, it's nothing to do with like race or skin color. Like, he's still doing it, Vivek Ramaswamy. But that's the thing. Like, the way Republicans have shifted, I don't think they're that far away from whatever Shapiro said, to be honest, right? They're not that far away. Maybe they'll throw in a little bit of the faggotry, but in all the other stuff, they're like, your skin color doesn't matter, your culture doesn't matter. As long as you love America and you love this country, like, it's just that. They both do that. That's where, like, you get the overlap.
Yeah, I would disagree because Ramaswamy is not representative of like the Republican Party. Like, he's not even on Fox anymore. Like, he's not even like a spokes character of the administration or like the GOP as a whole. He's kind of an outlier in his own like little world of still trying to stay relevant while it's like falling into irrelevancy further and further. Like, I'm not seeing that like at the state level so much, like this race stuff on the Republicans. The Republicans right now are kind of just in unison that we have immigration matters to address and we have crime matters to address, and that's our like main emphasis. Like, there's not really a fixation so much on race or this coddling to tokenize blacks so much anymore.
I said it's how it was going. I think MAGA.
That's how it was going, yeah. But when you even have like people with the Daily Wire, like fucking what's his face with like the facial hair and the lumberjack shirts all the time, like when he's even like talking Matt Walsh, I wouldn't say they're mainstream, but they're closer to like the broader Republican base because they have that kind of like, I don't know, that stuffy like pro-Israel kind of approach. Like a lot, even that has changed significantly.
So that just prompted something. I do think it is age distribution and sort of your general socioeconomic background, but I do think older millennials who are conservative would sort of gravitate more. And I don't like using these spheres. It is sort of like left, right, but for the Twitter brain, you'll understand. I think most of the people who are IRL normies tend to linger in like the Baptist outlook. And I think online conservative, especially if you're younger, like a Zoomer, you would be more in the Groyper outlook.
I'm gonna be honest though, nobody knows, like, Baptist is like a term that like I haven't even heard until a few months ago. I think it's a little more than that, but like it's
appropriated basically.
It's fine, but
like I think like the Western paradigm is flawed, but it's the best, and these Africans shouldn't be yelling at me. And it was not really about Israel, this or that. Israel's become an issue since October 7th. It used to be an issue in the spaces when there was some brouhaha in late 22, early 23 with Israel, and it was a thing. And then it disappeared until October 7th.
Yeah, when I was in spaces with you guys, I didn't even talk about it before October 7th because it wasn't even like a thing, honestly.
Yeah,
like it wasn't
among the Jews wasn't really a thing other than with very niche people who were like.
I didn't even know Boxing was a Jew, and they were looking up for him beautiful. And once they started talking, I started calling them faggots, and I don't regret that because they are. I'm not saying this because they're Jews, but because they're stupid. With all due respect. Regarding, I have an opinion, and
go ahead.
If you would allow me, Zach, I'm going to give my opinion about internal.
let me just give you like what this survey says. It says that the critiques from the field, the methodological critiques, have to, with these studies, a meta-analysis and methodological focus articles highlight limitations in the classical homophobia arousal study.
The Lord says, Mataha Paradaram Nanad Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. Impersonal Brahman is also supported by Krishna. Brahmano Pratisthaham. Therefore, in all ways, Krishna is the supreme reality. One whose mind, intelligence, faith, and refuge are always in Krishna. Or, in other words, one who is fully in Krishna consciousness is undoubtedly washed clean of all misgivings and is in perfect knowledge in everything concerning transcendence.
Baby.
One of you and mine.
Not by mine.
Chiefs, they are yours.
I think it's a Roger Mann movie by Mojo.
Bye.
You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
You're making it seem like it's not an all-white town. There's an all-white town. And you saying that your problem if someone built a black.
Yes, because it's illegal. It's illegal. Yes, it is.
All-white town. But there's all-white town.
The Civil Rights Act of 1866 and, the Fair Housing Act of the 1960s, it negates, hold on. Okay, so the Civil Rights Act of the 1860s. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So the Civil Rights Act of, I believe it was in the 1860s, okay, compounded by the fact that we have fair housing laws that were introduced into the United States in 1960, I believe it was 66. So again, this is my whole point. To somebody to have like an micronation within America that's inherently illegal.
No, that's
they have it though, Dr. Adams.
that's just freedom in action.
What is that?
It reminds me of that movie Greenland. I know it's very random and a little niche.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that genetic lineage is a protected class?
What is the source of genetics?
No, but I'm saying as far as like race, religion, gender, and all of the other things that the Supreme Court has thrown into what is federally recognized as a protected class. Do you feel like lineage is a specific protected class in America? Because it's not. It's really not. So that was the only pathway that the Indians had in creating their reservations. They had specific legislative carve-outs to be able to create that. Black America does not have the same justification. I'm sorry.
Well, that's because we're all Americans. And whether you're brown or white or yellow or purple, it doesn't matter. We're all Americans.
Okay, John, we want you here. Okay, we really want you here. So again,
justification, it just never was economically feasible for most of our time here in America to give.
Are you talking about the Freeman's Bureau?
No, I'm just saying how economically.
The Freeman's Bureau. Okay.
No, nigga, what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is it wasn't economically feasible to free your fucking working class. Like literally,
Did you just call Dr. Adams an N-word with a hard R?
Have people to work.
Okay, John, you're gonna get moved to the audience.
Just asking a question. I thought I heard her drop the
I
N-word.
gave Harriet. Okay. God damn.
I gave Harriet. Harriet and I have been cool for years. Like,
Yeah, what the fuck you talking about?
I'm cool with Harriet. What the fuck is going on?
I know. I'm not gonna let.
I love you.
I'm not gonna let. Like, I moved him down. Like, just quit fucking with her. Let her speak.
How dare you do that? And in that weird voice, John, we know you have a regular voice. Why don't you use it in here?
Yeah,
He always uses that voice here, but sounds regular in other rooms.
Exactly. Bring your congressional voice, John. Like, what are you doing? Bring your congressional voice.
Yeah,
What's up, Craig?
Weirdo voice.
Who do I have blocked in this room? Because I don't really block too many people.
Probably John.
John.
Yep.
Yeah, because he just comes in. Sometimes he plays like this hypnosis guy. He'll come in and like just play some like, oh, I'm doing a hypnosis.
No. Them fucking bells and shit. Them fucking bells. I'm telling you, listen. If y'all are wondering why I went after fat women, I think that John engaged in some type of hypnosis with them fucking bells, okay? And had me attacking fat women. Like, it's crazy.
Nah, you just don't like fat women, bro. That's just
No, you're right. We're from Orange County.
I'm not gonna.
We don't have fat.
I'm not gonna lie. I may be weird, but there's like some fat women where it's just like their face is gorgeous, and still like with your gorgeous face, then like the women that get, I don't know, they got like a gastric bypass and like put fake boobs on their body, like it.
Yeah, and strive for your youngest. True to self, my God, teach me to be true to myself, and let me be swayed by the approval or the disapproval of others. Let me learn to depend on no one but you, and to look nowhere but within to come to know my true self. Listen, you can make anything up you want.
That's not make it. Those are measurements of the sky. No, that's measurements of the sky. Like if I say, yo,
Yeah, I know. Hold
on. See, this is what I'm saying. Every single time I go to refute you, you just interrupt. When I say if you have direct measurements of the sky, then you say, oh yeah, we measure parallax, right? We can measure a rotation like Michelson-Gale, who measure the sidereal rotation due to interferometry that aligns with the sky, right? We have different things aligning with the sky, but we're looking for direct measurements of the Earth, like if we were going to use interferometric measurements to see orbital motion, excuse me. And they can detect this along curved paths and linear paths. So when you say parallax is evidence, I will agree that it's evidence relative to something else, right? There is parallax position change, but it's not exclusive to heliocentrism. So is it?
What is parallax?
I don't know why I'm getting muted, but if it's not, it's just your position relative to distant stars. You see the stars shift.
So
It's either because
Sacred, let me ask you a question. This is just a basic diagnostic. What is 100 times 1,000?
1,000 plus 2 zeros.
So what is 500 times 1,000?
500 plus 3 zeros.
So what's the
I don't
final
know what
number?
this has to do with anything what we're talking about.
It's just a diagnostic question. I'm just trying to figure out how good you are at maths and stuff. So.
Yeah, regardless, let's just assume that I suck at math. That's why I ask PhDs to help me out with some of these things that I don't know. And they all have not provided any correct measurement of Earth's orbital motion, and I'm saying we should just consider
Well,
it.
it's a little bit trolly to ask such questions, but it's not completely like out of like there are some simple things. Like Sydney asked a question the other day that I thought was like, hey, 8 times x equals 24. What is x? And like literally, no one in the flat. There were like 20 people in the flat Earth room, and nobody did answer. No one was willing to even try to answer.
They ain't like three.
Well, God bless you for knowing that. But like, there is this like simple prerequisite, on some like if you can't even address certain things, maybe we shouldn't be having this conversation. But thank you for seeing or knowing that it was 3. That is nice. But like literally,
that don't apply to me, so that's why we can't really get into all of those.
Many of your comrades could not even answer that. So
yo, you know what's so funny, Hero? Someone sent me a clip of the Globe Earther live over there house, and they were saying that the sun is 4 times as far away from the Earth as the moon. So it's funny because it is something. Like, I don't agree with that either. I'm just saying that's what the Globe Earthers were saying. If someone sent me the clip, I'll play it for you if you don't believe me. It's crazy. But it's not just what I'm saying is I don't think that we should. I don't think we should just attribute ignorance to a person's position on what they believe the Earth is, because there's ignorance everywhere, right? There's things that I don't know that you guys can teach me, and there's things that you don't know that I can teach you. Now, if you believe that, I applaud you. If you don't believe that, I think that's ignorant. But I don't think that we should just say, oh, flat earthers are dumb because X, Y, Z, because I've seen the same thing from all different sides. And we're not trying to label, and be bigoted versus anybody, bro. Like, we shouldn't have to do that to discuss science. You don't have to do that.
Look, if you
doesn't apply here, Hero.
If you think that there's a difference between the fact that like we see the stars wobbling annually, and there's a difference between like whether you think if we are moving around the sun, if the Earth is moving around the sun, that completely explains those observations.
No, it doesn't.
And it does. Hold that thought. You can tell me why it doesn't in a second.
Okay,
but I say that the Earth moving around the sun and also the sun's proper motion through the galaxy completely explains our parallax observations and our aberration observations. Now, you could think that, in fact, the entire universe is wobbling around us, and the sun is wobbling around us, and the parallax and the aberration is just some weird conspiracy for the universe to look like we are revolving around the sun. You're free to think that, but that's absurd. Now, why do you think what I said was? But you said something was wrong. I'm curious about why you think it's wrong.
Because in order to explain these wobbles, we gotta say that Earth is wobbling 3 different vectors on 3 different axes along 3 different time scales, and there's no explanation for these different wobbles. Just look at the Chandler wobble. Hold on. There's a Chandler wobble. There's the precession. There's another actual wobble to explain these anomalous star positions, and they don't really have any real mechanism for it, right? But
we have mechanisms for all those things.
The point is we're looking for exclusivity, right? You can believe in your dark energy and your dark matter, something that you never quantized, observed, measured, or figured out what it is in relation to your mechanics behind the motion.
We're not talking about dark energy or dark.
We are talking about that. Hold on. You just was talking about anomalies. We weren't talking about wobbles. We wasn't talking about wobbles, and you weren't bringing up wobbles. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about anomalies and all these different things that need to explain. I was making a side point. I know it's uncomfortable. Bro. Relax, bro. Relax. Why every time you do this? Every time you interrupt, why do you do this? Stop it, bro. I'm gonna give you the mic back.
Because you made a very inaccurate statement. You said that you started talking about dark energy and dark matter. Dark energy and dark matter are things. They have nothing to do with our motion around the sun. That you bring those up now is evidence that you want to talk about irrelevant stuff because you can't handle the stuff we're talking about. So you can complain about dark energy and dark matter. That is fine. That's a completely different discussion about the Earth's motion around the sun, or contrary position that the entire universe is wobbling back and forth annually. So that was my point. But dark matter and dark energy, that kind of stuff comes up when you don't have anything simple to talk about. Like we're talking about a simple thing about orbital dynamics, but you had to go somewhere else because your point is weak and dumb.
So, you can come back up. So this Harpo Art, what's his name again? Harpo Hart challenged the Big Bang. Alton Art. Seems to be a Harvard person.
The Big Bang, by the way, is very challengeable in my book. The Big Bang is very different than the sun's motion around the Earth's motion around the sun, those things are very distant and more speculative, and they can be challenged. I have no problem with those being challenged. Our standard models or standard theories about that sort of thing are really like on the edge of what we know and don't know. But our motion around the sun is so knowable and measurable, and so I really don't want people going towards other things like, oh, let's start talking about string theory. Let's start talking about something else. No. We're talking about the Earth being round and orbiting around the sun. like they love to go off into some weird esoteric kind of stuff. But no, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about something very simple. Either the Earth is moving around the sun, or the entire observable universe is wobbling every year, and spinning and doing weird shit. That makes that's indefensible. But when pushed, they want to start talking about other things that are legitimately more speculative. I mean, like dark energy, very speculative. Dark matter, a little less speculative. The Big Bang is, that's cosmology. This is very different than orbital dynamics. It's quite a bit out there.
So what I linked up top of the room is creation.com, commemorating his passing. Trying to open the link.
I wanted to answer the title or discuss the title in reference to Aleister Crowley's Rights of Man.
Oh yeah, wait, Aleister, are we
Yeah, there's a document called The Rights of Man by Aleister Crowley, and to me it reads like the Constitution. Many people have never read The Rights of Man by Crowley. It's just it's very quick, but it's beautiful. I'm not trying to take away from what Alfonso is.
Are you an occultist, or are you what's your relationship?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of occult books, but I'm not in any kind of organization. I'm a book collector, so I like reading books and putting the books on YouTube.
Especially the Puranas. Was it? I can't remember the name of the books you keep quoting.
Piranhas.
What was it?
Tanya?
No. Paraha tribe? You mean the People, what are the books that you always quote?
The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu.
Oh, the Tao, yeah. How's H
Yeah, the Tao is a great book. I think that is like a fantastic compression book. These Christians today were yelling at me because I was saying the Tao is like a logical compression of the Bible, and they were like, "No, it's not."
There's a bookstore locally called the Psychic Eye in Los Angeles in the Valley, and I just imagine that all the books there are all the ones he has in his library. It's all like the Crowley and the Manly P. Hall and the Secret Teachings, all the stuff.
The Manly P. Hall stuff is amazing. During the 20s, really, I would say like 1860s to like 1920s in America, that was like a huge period of like spiritual enlightenment. The biggest building in Chicago, I have it on a postcard, was the Freemason building. So that type of science fiction became very popular during that time window.
I think of that as just this period of like fetishy, esoteric, kind of like ancient wisdom and just this weird searching for meaning. What was that?
Hail Norma. So I think Roger, aka Mojo, got clipped. I don't know if you have his. I think you said you text messaged him, but I'm so disappointed because today was. I'm in a room right now. I can leave that room. Yeah.
Y'all did ask me, especially you, Dip.
My bad.
I liked him a lot. I know you guys didn't get along.
No, we were. You have no idea. I just filmed a Clubhouse with him for like 2 weeks straight. I couldn't pull myself away. And he allowed. He was inclusive. He included me in every conversation.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I thought you guys had tension. Then that changed.
No, he's very. He's got a great sense of humor, and
He's cool with it. He likes like exhibitions, like wrestling.
yeah, he does. I mean, he talks about sports and wrestling a lot. He loves that shit.
Yeah.
But the point is, this
How did
morning,
he get clipped?
um, I don't know who the reporter was. Could have been a couple people, but
Like Ben Mendelsohn. What did he do?
no explanation because I, haven't heard from him. Somebody said he could have come on late last night, and had it out with somebody. But Bima, I don't know if you know Bima, the
Yes.
Free Palestine girl. She messaged me, took a screenshot, telling me like, don't sell your soul for money and work with Roger Mayhem. He's a bully and a misogynist and this and that. And then, so it could have been her, it could have been somebody else, but who knows?
I mean, she started trying to be nice to me, but I wasn't having it. I assume she's a black girl.
No, she's white. She sounds white to me. I think she
Something
dates
going on there.
she
There's
dates a black guy.
Huh?
She dates a black guy. Has dated many black men.
Really? She got open with you?
I mean, I've been talking to that girl for years.
Really?
Yeah, but I had, you never know who somebody is until apparently the Jews come up. And, people use Jews as their scapegoat. It's wild. If
No kidding.
you're not using X, I doubt you're using X, but I mean, you think Pepe's?
Sex?
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, then you should go in these Jewish question
Dude, I
rooms.
was one of the first. I was like when they launched Twitter at South by Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started using it. I was like one of the first, I don't know, handful of users.
Really?
With
What's
no
your
idea what it was.
what's your profile?
What?
What's your profile name on there?
Rev Norman.
Oh, let me see it. So you're old school Twitter.
Yeah, but I don't use it very much. I don't know. I don't use it very much. I like X better. It became sort of bad.
Yeah.
I remember my first tweets. I was like looking for somebody nearby that I knew had Twitter.
You know what's
I was
interesting?
like working for MTV. What?
If you go to people's replies, that's where I find it to be the most interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's just like people are replying to content as opposed to like posting content.
Yeah.
Luby Fax. Yeah, you had some interactions with Luby Fax.
Good ones. No?
Yeah, I mean it's a big platform. It makes Clubhouse dwarfed, but
The whole world is using it.
yeah, it's big. And the thing about Grok is like I'm integrating Grok into all my communication all the time, and asking Grok. I just say, "Hey Grok, tell me what the debt's going to be over the next 10 years. Tell me what the interest payment is annually. Things like that, and or calculate this, calculate that."
And it's good?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Really?
And the
I like
coolest
it. I should use it more than ChatGPT.
Yeah, because it integrates with your X, so everything you grok, you just post it.
Why do I want to do that?
Because you're creating content using it, valuable content for yourself and other people who, aren't asking these difficult questions. Just you think these flat Earth people on here are using Grok uh, to, test their theories? I mean, it's a great place to get curated responses. People in these Jew hate rooms, they are using Grok audio and asking Grok questions about Epstein and this and that, and they're basically producing AI shows using AI responses.
What do you mean?
There's this Jewish.
Are they really doing that?
Yeah, people barely talk. The mods are just using Grok to create audio, response content, and
In what room?
in on X in an
Spaces.
Epstein file room, yeah. X spaces.
They're generating audio using Grok. They're not talking.
Yeah, they're doing prompts and then playing the audio from the prompt and then no, they're talking, they're doing follow-up conversations, but I'm just saying to me it's crazy to sit there to listen to somebody play Grok audio.
Is it good?
No, to me it's just it's like Clubhouse. It's never-ending schizo conversations about, Epstein
Does
and
nothing.
yes, there's shows about nothing. I mean, it's insanity. Like I'm giving up on this. Like I have to shut this shit down. I'm literally because I have filmed Clubhouse for the past 30 days, and I have thousands of videos that are unlisted and private. So like I'm going through about 15 phones right now, and going through the YouTube pages and doing mass, select all 50 plus videos at a time, turn from unlisted to public. So I want to like clear my cache, and then get back to reading books, and then work on communications with the campaign and create videos for the campaign. So and do more organizing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I support you in your next endeavor, and I also understand your love-hate ambivalent connection to this toxic layer of communication.
Well,
and I know that I know that that I'm having the same sort of push-pull love-hate fight thing. I mean, I was just in Amir's room. They are really stupid people. You're talking to really stupid.
Well, I like to ask people now a quick diagnostic. I say, what is 100 times 1,000? But somebody in this other room made it even simpler. They say, just say 8x equals 24. What does x equal? And most people can't even answer that question, El Normo. So the trick's on you as a user to realize, oh shit, I'm in conversation with very stupid people. So, the thing is, I think it's a content generation platform, and like, you know, you are. It's maybe you don't want to do it, but like, I can't understand why you don't kill two birds with one stone when you're here and just film the experience and make a movie out of it. It doesn't even mean you have to release the film, but that opportunity, uh, to use this as a creation, platform.
How much of me do you have?
You're in a lot of my conversations, but so is Pepe, so is Mojo. I mean, these many years I got.
Pepe's an interesting, weird communicator. which is that's his quality actually.
Yeah.
But
No, I agree. He's got a lot of energy.
he's relentless.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure something out, you know. Roger, well, I know him personally, so I don't want to say much because I don't want to be indiscreet. Pepe, I'm completely speculating. But, I mean, I'm sure that's not his real name.
No.
Were you here when it was all real people?
I joined this, I think, in like November 2019 because this guy Todd
That's
that I know.
before.
Yeah, he was telling me
That's when
Elon.
it was exclusive.
Yeah,
Elon Musk was on here.
yeah. I got the invite from my friend, but I never got to hear Elon speak. So
I did.
yeah. Well, if you go to
Elon, Zuckerberg,
oh really?
Weinstein, yeah, Snoop Dogg. What's his name was around all the time? MC Hammer, the real MC. It was crazy. I know. So there was a dinner party every Friday night when we were in lockdown of all these Hollywood people. What's his name? The conservative Jewish. What's it? Mark something. The A24 is it? A24 is he the financier?
I don't know that one.
There are these two big VC guys.
Oh, Mark Andreessen?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. He was supposedly he's like the anti-Trump, financier, the big lobbyist.
I thought he was the pro-Trump guy. I'm thinking of somebody who's pro-Trump.
Oh.
Who's behind this app. And his wife is black. His wife is named Felicia.
Oh. Maybe I got my names mixed up with the guy from LinkedIn, whatever that guy's name is.
Reid Hoffman?
Oh,
Yeah,
Reid Hoffman,
you are.
yeah.
Yeah. Andreessen is pro-Trump and Hoffman is very anti. He funded E. Jean Carroll's lawsuit against Trump. I know E. Jean Carroll pretty well. My family knows her, and I've texted a lot with her, and she tried to find me a match. And she's been bragging about her liaison with Trump for, I don't know, for decades. And then suddenly Reid Hoffman said, you should sue him. And she did. And she wrote a book about it. E. Jean Carroll, she was a columnist, I think, for Elle. And then she had started up her own business called Talkify. Like a sort of a text message matchmaking business.
I used to live in Los Angeles, and I was at the Beverly Hills Hilton, I think, or Bel Air, whatever that one is, where Whitney Houston. No, anyways, the point is.
The cute place up on the hill with the little ponds and everything hidden away. The Hotel Bel Air.
Honestly, I think I might have been in Century City, but anyways, the point is, I met this beautiful Persian girl named Sarah that I was dating. And at that event, I'm walking through the lobby, and Sheldon Adelson, on a scooter, like a three-wheel, mobility scooter, flies.
Like what are those things called? Like the rascal.
A rascal. He was on a rascal, and he had his cane, and he literally almost ran me over, and I jumped back, and I was like, oh my God, that's Sheldon Adelson. And but yeah, it was some kind of Friends of the IDF event, maybe. I can't remember what it was.
That's wonderful. Abby worked for him.
Oh wow.
And is friends with Miriam.
Wow.
Don't use that indiscreetly.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
I mean, if I would have tried to guess, that's who I would have guessed. But because big gaming is so huge, But anyways, that's interesting.
If you were trying to guess what?
Like what her career, who she worked for. I never Googled her, but she's a great woman on this app. She brings a great, perspective.
She's amazing. I've had dinner with her a few times. And we talked. What's that?
Is she single?
Depends.
I'm not asking.
I know her personally.
I'm not asking for myself.
She is wonderful. She's all of that in a bag of chips. She's the best of the best.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
She's introduced me to amazing people.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's tremendous.
I asked her one time. I was like, "Have you ever seen any, God God moments in court? Reversals or divine justice?" She's like, "No, no, I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "Oh, never mind."
She's not a litigator. She's a filmmaker.
Oh wow.
She's the other kind. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're kind of connected though. If you can, it's because it's like the gift of communication, you know.
Litigators are performers, like Johnny Cochran. But I mean, I hate to be dropping, although I was very friendly with Johnny Cochran. I put him in a show. I should show you the show sometime. And anyway, I'm sorry for name dropping. I guess it's late. I must be
He died. He
considerate.
died prematurely, unfortunately.
Yeah, he did. But I don't know. Maybe he was paying some sort of a price. He had a brain thing and just boom, right? He was one of the greatest performers of all time, and one of the highest paid for that matter.
Really?
Yeah, he's an amazing performer.
Wow.
Yeah, you say something to him like once, and he can like internalize it and make it his own, and go in front of the camera, which is what he did with me, or in front of the court, and just make it sing. There are a number. Senators are like that too. Politicians are like this.
Mhm.
The really good ones. There's not a lot of really good ones. A lot of them just sound so stupid. I'm trying to think of a great one. Some of the great. Well, I don't know. I mean, if you know John Kennedy, right?
Mhm.
The Louisiana senator right now,
Mhm.
the old guy, the funny. I mean, I think he's pretty good. Who is really, really great, gifted?
I
Like
mean,
politician. Well, Obama was really good.
what a liar. He's such a liar. It makes me sick. Because
He
when
was very bad. Well, I
when
guess I mean I don't know. Trump sounds like he's got ADD. I'm trying to let's see. Teddy Kennedy was good. There were better ones. Oh, I'll have to think about it.
I mean, JFK was, in my opinion, like that.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing. A great speaker. I guess he has some skeletons too. Nobody's. Well, look, Clinton is one of the great communicators of our time. Great. He should have been the first one I mentioned.
So explain Yasser Arafat. Explain Yasser Arafat. That guy's career, to me, in hindsight, I'm just like, I can't believe A, that he even stayed alive that long, but B, just what a smarmy, slobbering, Jabba the Hutt type.
Unshaven.
Yeah, gross.
With
Bad,
those
bad.
lips. The grossness. I mean, look at what's his name was like that too. Sinwar. Look at that face. It's just pure evil. Like you can't get the evil out of the face. There's no angle that he doesn't look like the personification of evil. Some of those other guys, it's amazing that they live. I think they're like looking to die. They're looking to be clever and to die.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like Sinwar? I'm sure you saw the video of his last moment.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's getting taken out by a drone with a camera on it. So his last moment is filmed.
Yep.
And he throws a stick at the drone before it blows him away. Why are you laughing?
Because it's crazy. I know. It's like, it looks like it's from a movie. It's hard to believe. Yeah.
I could see an installation with the stuff that you did here. I'm trying to figure out where you're coming from with this, movie and all this stuff. I understand what you're saying. It's legitimate. It's legitimate art in a sort of what do you call it? An installation. It's definitely an installation.
Well, I asked these Christian women on this app today who were talking about Botox. I said, is there some point where even cosmetic procedures are actually just art? And they're like, no, it is not art. It is not art. They got so upset. I mean, you don't think what women do to their faces, with all the procedures, isn't a form of artwork? Seems legitimate to me.
All right. So a friend of mine wrote a book on bound feet. In China they would break the woman's foot and curl it around those little clogs.
Mm-hmm.
They broke their feet. Now, there's somehow a link between that between, prostheses when somebody loses a limb and they fashion a new one. And I did a 60 Minutes piece called Robo Jocks about athletes with prostheses who become super athletes because they've got these amazing prostheses. So there's a link from those prostheses to the bound feet to the plastic surgery that you're referring to and or makeup and the idea of like the extension of one's body and enhancement of one's body as art. And that's actually a popular culture thing. You see, whether it's like women like Joan Rivers or that weird woman that called her the cat lady who just destroyed her face, or Renee Zellweger looks like an entirely different person, or
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman, right? They don't even look. They're not the same people anymore. Nicole Kidman, not Meryl Streep. What's her name? What's the name of the woman that was in King Kong? Like, this is way before your time. Go ahead. What were you gonna ask?
My uncle, who's a gold bug, and my aunt, Valerie.
Does that mean he hoards gold?
Nah, he's basically, anti-fiat. He, believes that the central banks are at the head of all major conspiracies. So, anyways, his beautiful wife, when she was in her 20s, they toured the country in, I guess, the 60s or 70s, and they made $1 million. She was a stripper, and she was Miss Nude America 1969. And she created a ping pong dress. She was like a clothing designer, and so she decided to create a ping pong dress, and she toured the country in a ping pong dress. They made $1 million, and he took that cash. I assume he didn't pay his liability, and he bought gold and stuffed it in a fake identity account in Switzerland, and so he he couldn't get it out because it was in a fake name, and I guess they rejected his withdrawal request. But he had plastic surgery, and now my uncle looks like Catman. So apparently, the lawyer who petitioned the courts in Switzerland used that his plastic surgery resulted in like him not looking like the same person in the I guess the photo he used or the identity. For some reason, it's in the court document that like his plastic surgery is the reason why they can't correctly make the identification with him as the account holder. So I just thought that was funny that they used that as an
Switzerland
excuse.
was our numbered accounts.
Well, he did it under a fake name.
Why did he do that?
I don't know. Maybe he thought that he could get away with it, avoid association or something. I don't know. But
He didn't want to pay his taxes.
yeah, he didn't want to pay his taxes.
I know a woman that years, and we went to each other's kids, birthday parties and stuff. And I mean, I've known her for like 30 years. And her father died and left her some money. And for some reason, she didn't want to pay the taxes on it. So she's like a rich woman from Connecticut. I'm not going to tell you her name, but you can find it pretty easily using what I'm telling you. And she went to jail. I had to write her kid a recommendation to college. I mean, people do some really strange things along the line. So what you said about, you think he'll get his money out?
He did. He got it out.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
He did. That's great.
Yeah, he got it out.
That's great. I mean, I guess it didn't collect interest, and it's $1 million. But if he invested it,
Oh no, the gold appreciated a huge amount since when he bought it. Yeah.
I didn't know you could just deposit gold. Are you saying it's in a safety deposit box?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know somebody who was a pot dealer who smuggled all this money out and got caught. Like when he got busted, he had to give it all back. Ill-gotten gains.
Yeah. People try to go to the farthest ends of the earth to avoid paying taxes. Gamblers, people go to the casino. If they make a lot of money, they go to one cashier window. They go to another cashier window. They don't want to get, reported, I guess.
I bet the casino records that stuff.
I mean, I have a friend who's like a multi-million-dollar successful, multi-million-dollar successful poker player, and he was telling me how, they go from one window to that window. They don't cash in all their chips, come back. They go, they break up their cash outs
Right.
to avoid the reporting. But, anyways, yeah. So I was, this morning was like supposed to be my big, part two, end of the summary, the conclusion of all my filming, and Mojo gets clipped. So we were supposed to do like a mystery science theater 3000
Well,
show
yeah,
today.
that was he. You weren't the only person who announced it. What's the name of this lovely creature that's in? Oh, it's P. How do you like that, P? I just called you a lovely creature. That's pretty cool. I didn't, I was really serious too. I was like, I guess it's late. I was spacing out. How do you like that for an unfiltered reaction? You're welcome. It was so honest. It's one of the most authentic responses. Very nice. I'm pleased with myself. I mean, a moment of transparency. So funny. Do you know what's going on right now, John?
In the news?
No, what I just was just saying.
No, I don't know what you're referencing.
Well, anyway, I saw somebody in the audience. I wanted to know who it was because, we're talking about all this stuff. And I looked at the picture. I was like, oh, who's this lovely creature? Again, that's something I would probably say during the day. I'd be more circumspect. And it turns out it's somebody that I know. Like when you say, when you look at, like, you see a pretty girl, so, wow, she's pretty there. Oh, that's my girlfriend. Like you just, somehow you space out and you look at somebody that you know. And you think, oh, there. Or maybe you see them from the side or something. I don't know. That's what was just happening. I've never really seen that picture of you. I don't always blow up people's pictures. Does everybody else blow up people's pictures?
Yeah, because it requires a full picture now. Full screen. It's like takes the whole thing. You can't crop it.
But when you see people, do you always look at the full pictures? I mean, most people don't have pictures of themselves anywhere, right?
It just depends. I have all these cell phones, and this one that I'm talking to you on right now, I removed like 3,000 screenshots. I'm like a screenshot addict, and so I have so many photos of people from Clubhouse on, that I just put onto my main computer. It's just unbelievable how much data and how much, images and videos like I've created off of this platform. I don't know. It's an interesting platform. It's because Twitter is like the big tech. This is like a startup, but it's been a really fun experience. But like today's show with Roger Mayhem was supposed to be basically not just that Mystery Science Theater, but a way to like critique and analyze this app, how people are using it, how people are listening to it, and basically to prove that it's a total waste of time, and that there's no real education happening. It's all entertainment, and it's just nonstop toxic communication, low IQ, stupid information transmission. I know.
I've learned a tremendous amount. I've done really interesting things. I read the Psalms in Hebrew. I've never done that before. Actually, it's like this led me to put on tefillin. This led me, to learn more Jewish stuff. This led me to learn more about Israel. I got a fantastic internship for my kid from this app.
Cool.
I'm serious. I got a really great relationship out of this app, and I got a business connection that took me to the other side of the world. It didn't work out, but I did pursue it, and it clarifies my thoughts. Listen, I really like talking to you. We had that Tanya moment, which I'll probably never forget. It's funny that I say that. I remember the moment, but I don't remember the words. Do you remember that page that you shared?
I mean, no, I can't remember which one it was, but
Is it like being a glass, like the relationship with God is like we're sitting next to a glass filled with water?
Oh
and
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
realize?
yeah. Yep. That book's great. I'm looking at it right now.
Maybe I do remember it. See, there's a reason not to take drugs. I'm see if I can get my copy of that book that I bought because you told me about it.
It's basically it's the Jewish Tao Te Ching. It's all about duality and non-duality. It's so smart, and this is why most people I find to be horribly toxic and obnoxious because I would rather be not in Clubhouse but the book club. You see the big difference there between the book club and what Clown House is. That's my point. That's my point, basically.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. You're right. A friend of mine just published this book about Ralph Waldo Emerson. People like Ralph Waldo Emerson, so I recommend that book. And I recommend Emerson, of course. I can't find that Tanya book that I bought because of you. I have a different book here that a friend of mine wrote, actually the rabbi's son, called Touching Tanya, which is really, really good.
Oh, you want to read? You want to read a page?
Of this book?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. I hope I can pick a good section. It's a pamphlet, really. I have it in my hand. I'm still looking for the thing that I guess I'll find it. I'll make a mental note. I'll stumble across it. If you want, you can tell me what page it's on, so when I find the book, I don't want to go looking through. I have so many stacks of books that it's like they could fall over on me, bury me. Hang on, I'll put my glasses on. See if I can find something. I don't know, you might find it too arcane. Hang on. Let's see. So this is Touching the Tanya, Chapter 1. Because it's a Jewish book, I started from the back, and that was actually made much more sense than reading from the front. I'm seeing if this is what I want to read. Well, try this, okay? Were you ever confused as to why at times you desire to be kind and spiritual, and at other times you just don't care? Do you ever beat yourself up for doing things that are not aligned with what you value and stand for? Is it hard for you to understand why every day it feels like you want a different kind of life? Interesting?
Yeah.
Can you hear it? Okay. So this is his commentary, obviously. This is like at the end of the book, but I opened the book from the back to the front, so this is the first thing I saw. By truly understanding and realizing that you are made up of two souls, not one, much of your confusion in life begins to fade away. You're not crazy for desiring conflicting things. You're normal. Possessing two souls that are diametrically opposed to one another means that every moment of your life, by definition, will be disappointing to at least one of your two souls. So this whole thing is about how, like, we have our feet on the earth, but like metaphorically speaking, our hearts are like yearning to connect to God, but we have to live in the real world and therefore do practical things. And how do we like bring holiness into everything that we do? That's me telling you what I understand of Hasidus and Tanya.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. And these despicable people on these apps, and they're never at man. I mean, I was in this room yesterday, and it was so funny because they were like, "This guy's an actual congressman. He's a fucking congressman." I can't, they were going ballistic, and I was like, you all sound just like a bunch of obnoxious Jew haters. They're like, "Jew, you got it!" Like they are insane. I mean, there's this, one evangelical, I suppose, Christian woman with a very loud voice, and boy, like it's to like if somebody goes on and on about that type of topic every single day, I mean, it's like the basis of absolute neurosis, insane thinking. But it's just it's not even political. It's just like it's warped, but they just don't like Israel. And it's so amazing. Like I've talked to Daniel. I was like, Daniel, could you imagine if this anti-Semitic piece of shit was just put on a plane and dropped off in Tel Aviv and given $1,000? You know, like, or had no like, if you haven't been there, you know, it's that's the whole thing. It's like you need to go there and realize it's just like where you're from. It's no different. Just people just don't want terrorism, you know?
Correct. Well, people are, they're fascinated by and obsessed with Israel. They don't understand how it exists. And it is kind of a miracle if you think about it. It's like,
Yeah.
let's make the thing we've always wanted. Let's just make it.
Yeah,
You know?
it's pretty amazing. I mean, I really like.
We're going to speak Hebrew, of course. What do you mean we're going to speak Hebrew? Nobody's spoken Hebrew for 2,000 years. So what? We'll speak Hebrew. You know, it's like, and they're doing it. Like you hear the Hebrew, and it's like, these guys are speaking Hebrew.
Yeah, I would really like to go back there and, you know, spend a couple months studying there just to be in that, you know, in in a Hebrew, you know, setting. Let me test your Tanya glossary of Hebrew terms. What's nefesh?
So,
It says physical intelligence governing the workings of living beings. So physical
well,
intelligence.
this is what I thought it was. Maybe there's a different meaning in Tanya.
Okay, what is neshama?
Well, guess what? I was going to say the same thing. So I guess they're dividing us into the two souls. So if you're going to say the nefesh is the practical soul, we're sort of saying, and then the shema obviously is the alternative, the spiritual soul.
It's
That,
here.
that's
Here
what?
it says here in the back of the tiny book that you have egoic intelligence, revealing the independence of all things. So neshama is ego, and nefesh is nefesh is physical intelligence. So there's physical intelligence and egoic intelligence. Nefesh is physical,
I,
neshama is
I
egoic.
didn't notice this. I didn't know this at all. I did not under. It's very complicated. I
It is,
only
isn't it?
glimpsed it. Yeah, I only glimpsed it. I don't. I love being. I used to go to this class every single day with Rabbi Ronnie Fine on this app. Are you
Yeah,
aware of
yeah.
that?
I was watching him on YouTube and on here. I liked him on here more than
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah, I liked him too. But I listened to it and I feel good afterwards. But I didn't really understand what I was listening to. And I started putting on tefillin. I mean, in part because of him and because of that.
Yeah, I haven't put tefillin on in a while, but you know, I like to think that every time I study Torah, um, that's like the true tefillin putting on, and you know,
Sure.
yeah,
I kind of wish you would convert because I think you have a Jewish soul. I mean, if ever I had to think of somebody who did it, I think it would be you. Not that I know. I mean, it's just my reaction. But
well, I was going to a conversion class in Bel Air, outside of LA,
yeah,
in the hills at that Jewish theological seminary or whatever it was, and
yeah,
I had
the
this.
Chabad one.
No, it wasn't Chabad. It was probably very reformed, but it's a big facility in Bel Air, like a very nice place. And the rabbi's name is Rabbi Zvi. And
Yeah.
one time he's writing on the chalkboard, and he farts, and he goes,
Oh,
"Every time you're studying Torah, it's a direct transmission from Hashem."
kind of wild.
But it was for mixed couples, and after like a cut 2 3 weeks, I just couldn't stand listening to these converts who were complaining about their mother-in-laws. I was like, I can't sit. I'd rather just read a book than sit here and listen to these women talk for 10 to 15 minutes about their mother-in-law. This is crazy.
Well, I feel that way about these group experiences too. I'm not really that interested in what a lot of people like. People's like neuroses and stuff. I'm not that interested.
Yeah, I heard somebody today on this app talking about. Um, you hear so much shit on this app. Um, but anyways, Do you want to hear a verse from the Tanya?
Okay.
Okay, pick a number, 1 through
28.
28. Okay, this is called distracting thoughts. Evil thoughts can even arise during study and prayer, and if they do, you should ignore them entirely and divert your mind from them immediately. Do not try to examine these thoughts, for that is a task for the righteous in whom evil finds no root. But the evil you experience is rooted in your own selfishness. Do not be dejected because of this. Rather, redouble your efforts to concentrate your mind, and in this way fill yourself with joy and gladness, realizing that distractions arise because your study and because your prayer and study are approaching selflessness. When distractions arise, ignore them, and answer not fools according to their folly, lest you too become a fool. What if you cannot ignore them? Then humble yourself before God and ask God to rescue you from these turbulent waters. This is the subnote. It is one thing to be distracted by negative thoughts during regular moments of the day, but what if they occur during times specifically devoted to spiritual practice? Does this mean that you are failing in your practice? Not at all. In fact, it means just the opposite. Our sages taught the greater the person, the greater the Yetzer Hara, evil inclination. Talmud Sukkah 52a. That is, the Yetzer Hatov, good inclination, is always balanced by the Yetzer Hara. You cannot escape from one to the other. This is why few sinners are beyond redemption and few saints are beyond temptation. The challenge is not to eliminate the negative thinking, but to deal with it effectively. For the righteous, the best way to deal with such thoughts is to examine them thoroughly, and in so doing to discover that they too are part of the divine non-duality, shlamut. For the in-betweener, however, such examination may result in becoming obsessed with such thoughts. Hence, the best way for the in-betweener to deal with the negative thoughts is to let them go. Do not feed them either by resisting them or by entertaining them. If they come, let them go. Yet there may be times when you cannot ignore the madness in your mind. Even then, the thoughts can be useful, for they remind you of your limitations and humble you to the point where all you can do is cry out to God. And that act of complete humbling is often enough to awaken you to your true nature as a manifestation of God.
Is that the same book?
Yeah, that's number 28, Distracting Thoughts.
I gotta find my copy of the book. I want to note this. Do you have post-it notes?
But I don't. I mean, I don't really use them anymore. You know.
Because I want you to put post-it notes on those pages of the book. The one about the glass with God in it,
Mm-hmm.
and the one you just read. And then when I can find my copy of the book, if I forget which ones, I guess I'll remember. I was gonna say if I forget which ones we read tonight, you could remind me because there'll be post-it notes in it.
And this is what I want to do at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. on this app is read books like that or read Tanya and, you know, give people positive programming early in the day because people will go from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. listening to some psychopath girl, you know, be hyper verbal on here. It's amazing how how a pretty woman or a pretty sounding woman can, you know, essentially hypnotize a room for extended hours and center herself. But because, you know, of attraction, people will listen to her for hours. Talk about nothing. I'm telling you, brain rot is real. And, you know, Roger Mayhem was like, well, what if I just listen to audiobooks? And I said, well, yeah, that's great. But you know what the difference is between listening versus reading? When you read and you read out loud, you get a double measure or a double effect because people come on here because they want to talk because they want to dope up and get the dopamine from talking. But imagine if you read a book and you're reading it out loud, you're getting the dopamine plus the information. If you can comprehend it real time, that's great, as opposed to having thoughts, you know, outside of what you're reading. So anyways, I think, you know, reading versus listening to audiobook, you get more of a talk therapy boost by doing that as opposed to just coming on here to
That's a
have.
good idea. That's
Yeah.
a good thought.
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage you to just record yourself reading when you put on Tefillin, like read one chapter and record yourself reading it, and then listen to that playback at the end of the day, and then the next day record a new one at the end of the day. Listen to that one again. I mean, and your large language model is going to expand, significantly because like, if you look at the glossary in this Tanya book, I don't know, I can't remember what these words mean, so. And to me, this stuff is like the fun part of Judaism. You know, a lot of other just the parsha stuff. It's like this is like automatons. This stuff is boring. This stuff really deals, I think, with like advanced psychology. It's more exciting
That's
to
what
learn.
it's trying to do.
But I like a lot of books. I mean, the Tao Te Ching is amazing. The Upanishads from India are amazing. Rumi from Persia is amazing, and it's really almost like the exact same thing. It's just, it's just the words are just a little different, in terms of placement, but it's a lot of the same words. Basically, it's the movie Dune. I'm only saying that because I'm looking at the Dune movie poster in my apartment, but that guy who created Dune, he basically took all the world's religions and compressed them into that film.
Into the novel. The novel's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
I wandered into a whole other part of the house. I've been looking for my iPad for like weeks, and I was looking for the Tanya book, and instead I found my iPad. There's something tremendous there for me.
What, Tanya?
Well, no, reading the Tanya, and then I was looking for my Tanya, and I couldn't find it. What's the name of that book again? The Living Tanya or something?
Oh, it's called Tanya, the Masterpiece of Hasidic Wisdom. Translations, annotations by Rabbi Rami Shapiro, forward by Rabbi Zalman Schechter Shalomi.
So what I was saying is that I was looking for my copy of that book that I bought because of you. It's in some stack. I mean, I've got stacks everywhere, stacks of books. And I didn't find it, but I did find my iPad, which I've been looking for forever. So it's sort of funny. That's a good thing for me. God only knows where I put it. Say it again. It's called Tanya, the Masterpiece
Of Hasidic Wisdom.
Maybe I'll buy another copy.
I've bought probably 5, 6, 7 copies. I think I've bought 7 copies of that book because I give them out to all my Jewish friends because I'm like, you know, I went to Chabad and I was like, do you know what? I was talking to this nice young Jewish guy. I was like, you know why I'm here? He's like, why? I'm like, because I wanted to tell you about this book called Tanya. And that I showed it to him on Amazon, and he bought it on Amazon on the spot. He's like, if you really recommend it, I'm gonna read it.
What was the thing you read to me about, like, the God is like there's a glass half full right next to you? What is it? Where is that?
I was just looking at that.
You know what? You remember it?
Yeah. Yep, I remember reading that with you. I don't know which chapter it is.
Go buying things at this hour.
This is one of the best buys you can make. It's such a compression book. It's unbelievable. And if this is, the secret sauce of Hasidism, they don't promote it. I mean, Zohar is amazing. So I was in this X room yesterday, and they were claiming that the Jews spread all this liberalism, transsexual, gender theory, going back to the 20s. And this is like, I've heard all this shit about like Nazi Germany claiming that, you know, the first transgender child and all this, they bring all that shit up. So, um, it's just wild, you know, because it's like, I don't know, nobody's ever going to read a book. People are just hyper political. They're hyper polarized. No one's gonna. That's why I want to like do it myself. Like I want to get back into books because I realize like people on these apps are mashugana. They're never gonna read a book. They're never gonna be academic. It's all just real time politicking, and it's such a waste of time. It's not making me smarter. It's not making me feel better. It's uh, it's demoralization actually. People are so pissed. Did you see Speaker Johnson was at the Kotel davening with a kippah on? People fucking the brains are exploding. They're like, what the fuck? Well, I don't know if you see the responses on X, but people are, you know, this is the funniest thing about Judaism is how gaslighting it is for people. And when our leaders are being good allies and friendly and kind and supportive, people are all these free Palestine people. Their heads are just like they can't believe it. You know, especially a lot of the crazy conservative ones. I don't know, did you see Speaker Johnson at the Kotel yesterday or today?
No, no.
Remarkable, just remarkable. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, it's so amazing too. It's like Judaism is in everything. I was thinking today because when you graduate, I went to infantry school in the U.S. Army at Fort Benning, and when you graduate, you get a blue cord, and I really like that blue cord. But and then I'm looking at Tefillin, or not Tefillin. I'm looking at Tzitzit, and traditionally there's like a blue cord with the Tzitzit. It's not just all white cord. There's like a blue cord, one string, one blue or something. So I'm just like, all of this, our whole history is just integrated. You know, human history is integrated with Jewish cultural influence, or you could call it like astrological influence. Um, Kabbalah and the Christians have been intermingling, you know, for thousands of years, and it's all right there if you're willing to study it and, you know, enjoy it.
It's really interesting. I do you like? Are you using what you learned in infantry school in the real world?
Mm,
Like, what is infantry school like? You teach how to dig a
basically,
foxhole.
yeah, I would say actually what I'm programmed most from that experience is probably the exercise. Um, you know, having my routine at the gym, uh, and having done that for 24 years now, that to me is like the biggest programmatic blessing of that experience is is my workout routine. You know, it's pretty standard, but it's I think it's like fully comprehensive.
That's very good.
Yeah, that's usually I think my default answer is, you know, just the exercise because it's not like I'm engaged in any kind of combat or anything like that. I mean, my situational awareness is usually pretty heightened when I'm out in public. Um, you know, so many people are just on their phones, just waiting to be victims. And you know, I've ridden a train for years, and I've seen just countless amounts of crime, and you know, I've been attacked on the train. uh, what was it like when you made it to your 40s? Was it like was it like an awakening, a triumph? Like, have you ever
My
had like,
40s?
yeah,
Nothing. I was still just, well, I became a father and I was, you know, and I shouldn't say nothing. I became a father and I experienced the pleasure of not living for myself, living for another creature.
hmm
And that's a really good, that was a real change for me. I became less interested in myself. It's late for me. I'm gonna go.
Okay. Have a great evening. God bless. Take care.
Same. I bought the book. I bought the book yet again.
Be sure to give it to somebody after you read it. But the great gift is giving it to somebody because a lot of people don't have Torah. My Jewish friends do not have Torah in their lives, and that book is a cheat sheet. That is a Cliff Note compression for Jews in need of wisdom. Okay, take care. Good night.
Bye.
I can't believe this is just sexual. So he comes